Well, hello. Welcome again to our continuing education. And I first want to make sure that you guys know that this continuing education is going to be the first and third Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. We missed last night, and I was doing a food run for a food bank and didn't get done till way late. So I apologize for that. So here we are, and I am going to talk today about celery seed. I know that's something that is like, what the heck do you do with celery seed, right? And why would you want to consider using this essential oil? So again, thank you for joining me. This is my continuing education. My name is Diana Hegel, and I'm so glad to have you here with us tonight. And thank you so much for listening and on the replay. And always leave a comment if you have anything that you use these essential oils for, that if what we're discussing, if you use it and you have a great recipe that you'd like to share, please do so, because we're always looking for more. Celery seed. Well, first, most of us are going to think about the celery we get out of the grocery store or maybe our gardens, right? Because celery seed in itself, or celery, is really good for us because it is a vegetable. And we want to make sure that we have the right kind of vegetables in ours to help support our immune system, correct? So with that, when we think, well, what else is it? But when we think about seed, it's not the celery stalk in this case. It is the seed of the plant that we are using in order to get an essential oil, or celery seed essential oil. And so for most of us, we wouldn't even think twice about this particular oil. So let's look at this particular seed essential oil. What purpose is it for us, and how does it help us? Well, first of all, it's a very calming essential oil, and it helps tremendously with our digestive system. So it's very high in limonene and linalool, which is something that we want to make sure that we have in our, which are very helpful for our digestive system. So when we are thinking about those two constituents that are inside celery seed, they're great for digestive. And so we're going to dive into some more things and some protocols with celery seed and what you would want to put together with it and how you would want to use it. And did you know that 70% of our immune system is all about our gut? So if we do not have a healthy gut, we're not going to have a healthy body. At some point down the road, something's going to happen, and we need to fix that. So knowing what you can do to help support your digestive system will lead to a good immune response and a better immune function. So there's many oils, essential oils that out there that will totally help us when it comes to our digestive system. And so when we're looking at the digestive system, it's not just our tummy and our intestines. So let's look at this a little further. So when we look at the whole picture, it's your esophagus all the way down, all the way through to the colon. That's your entire digestive system. So how do we help support it? And celery seed just happens to be one of those that is one we wouldn't really think about picking up, because we think about peppermint, because peppermint's been out there for a long time, and we think about maybe fennel or juniper berry and things like this. So what else can we look for? And so celery seed, or any seed oil, is usually high in limonene and linalool, and those two constituents really help the digestive system. They help support a healthy immune function. So Celery seed is good. It's an antioxidant. It helps with antioxidant activity. It really helps with cardiovascular health, and it helps our metabolism. It also helps with our I can't even say it now, oral tissue and our teeth. I know that sounds kind of funny, but there you go. It's very calming, like I suggested earlier. It's helping support a healthy immune system or immune response. It's also very good for our lungs and our respiratory support. So that's what celery seed is doing. So let's look into all of the different parts of the digestive system, and we'll give you some ways of helping that digestive system. Now, when we think about the digestive, we always tend to think about that stomach, right? Well, yes, it's important. But what about the esophagus and all the other parts that are on the inside? So we have everything has a lining. And so what we want to do is help support. So when we look at the esophagus, okay, we have the mucosal lining inside. We want to help support that because we are prone to threats all the time. And so celery seed in itself enhances the defense factor to protect against a breakdown of the mucosal and our digestive tissues. So that's in the esophagus. Very important to think about start. This is the start and all the way to the finish. Where's the finish line? That's the colon. So when we look at the esophagus, we want to help support the inside of it and help protect those tissues. And we also have, most of us will have a bacterium in our digestive system. But we'll get to that in a minute. So for the esophagus, if you want to help support it in that way, you can add 2 to 3 drops in your favorite drink, or if you'd like to make a smoothie, put it in your smoothie. It's really going to help with stomach acid. Okay, we're going to get to the stomach, but when we think about stomach acid, what would you think of? Acid reflux, maybe, and other issues like that. So if you're using that for those kinds of things, celery seed's very good for that. You can also use in conjunction with that lemon or lime and put it in your smoothie also, and add the celery seed as well. So it depends on you. What do you like the taste of? Because celery seed it's kind of bitter. It's not sweet like lemon or lime. It is bitter. So you usually don't want to put it by itself. But some of you probably out there are going, we love it by itself, and you can just take it right out of the bottle because it is consumable. And you can cook with it. I actually use it in my canning. When I use it for my pickles. I do a sweet or a bread and butter type of pickle, and so I've used it for there, but you don't use very much. So when we're looking at using any essential oil for cooking, usually it's the dip of a toothpick. If not, if you don't have a toothpick, just tap the top of the orifice reducer, and I don't have my oil here, and just put it on the spoon or spatula, whatever you got, okay? Nice, and stir it into it. That's probably all you're going to need. Now, if you cook at high temperatures with it, you're not going to get as many of the antioxidant type benefits in it. You're going to get more for flavoring. So you want to keep that temperature down if you want it. But so in this case, it's like instead of celery or just celery seed, I use celery seed essential oil and put that in my canning, my pickles. That should taste pretty good. You decide how much you want to use. Taste your recipe before you ever do anything. That's a must, right? Also, on congestion, what do we do on congestion? You can use it 2 to 4 drops in a capsule. So if you don't like the flavor of celery seed, put it in a empty container, little capsule. You can buy those at any food store, health food store, and 2 to 3 drops, and take it that way internally, and you'll still get the benefits that way. Okay. No matter what, you're going to put oils in you, whether you take them internally, put them on you topically, or use them aromatically. Because you can put this in a diffuser, but you probably want to put something with it to create your own unique smell. What do you like? So now that we've looked at the esophagus, what's next, right? So what's next is our stomach, obviously. Now, the stomach can get upset depending on what you have eaten, what you drank, the stress in your life. There's all kinds of factors to make your stomach feel bad. Okay. You're not creating the enzymes you need. There's many different products that doTERRA has for that. But I'm going to tell you right now, the celery seed in itself is so good for the digestive, and it's different. doTERRA celery seed is different than others that you get on the market out there. doTERRA is all about making products the best that they can be for us and our health. And by the way, I'm not here to claim anything or diagnose anything or treat anything. I'm here for information so that you decide what you want to do with it. So when we look at the stomach, we want to reduce any type of acid that's going on, right? We get too much or too little. And most of us, when we have acid reflux, we think that we have all this extra. Really, you don't have enough. It's not the excess. It's not enough. And stay away from caffeines. Stay away from chocolate. Really know what you can put in your body. Watch your whites that you take if you have a lot of problems with your stomach. Anything white bread, white rice. I know it's not fun, but you really have to think about this. Don't make things worse. So in our stomach, we have the inside of the stomach. So what protects the inside of the stomach and all those tissues? Well, celery seed essential oil is really good for that. It helps the lining and the tissues inside the stomach. And I was saying that we have a bacteria all the time. We have a bacteria that most of us carry and nobody really knows we do. And it's a I'm going to say this right, Helicobacter pylori bacteria. I hope I didn't botch it up too much. I know I hear it, but saying it is different. You get tongue-tied in some of these words, right? So that is a bacteria that we're constantly in the flow with. If we have that bacteria too long and stays too long in our system, in our stomach, it attacks the tissues. So, and the lining of your stomach. So that's why people that get ulcers or other issues like that, usually that's a result of the bacterium that's in there for such a long time. And we're not talking just a few days or a few months, we're talking years down the road. So causing that inflammation in the long term. So there again, what you can do for something like that, if you feel you have those issues, 2 to 3 drops of your celery seed oil, put it in a capsule and take it that way internally. And or again, you can do your smoothies or your drinks, whatever you want. But you want to do that morning and night, not just one a day or whenever. It's just morning and night, or just as you need it. But do it morning and night, but you don't have to repeat it forever. If you've had a lot of digestive issues going on like that, try it. What do you got to lose to see if it makes you feel better? Because we want to feel good, right? It's no fun not having or just daily activities and all of a sudden you feel like you just don't feel good. You want to feel great, so try things. If it works for you, hallelujah, you found something that is natural, no side effects, and will do the job. Versus living with it. Why just live with something, or wait to your doctor, or wait till you go to a doctor and they finally go, hey, well, I think you've got this problem. Here's a prescription. Nip it in the butt before it gets worse, right? You can also, and with because of their stomach, if you want to make it taste good or taste better, because never again, celery seed is bitter, combine it with a spice or citrus oil. You want to do equal amounts. So like if you do 1 drop or 2 drops of celery seed oil, you're going to want to have 1 or 2, the same drops amount of whatever else you're using. That enhances the benefit of that essential oil, okay? And the benefit to helping reduce that inflammation in the stomach. Now, let's look at the urinary tract. That's next. So the urinary tract, we're not going to get into a big spill of it. We're just brushing the surface, okay? But the urinary tract is super important to support. And what we have to support the most is our kidneys. How are we supporting our kidneys? Well, if the kidneys aren't functioning well, then our urinary tract doesn't work well either, right? And so by helping with that part of it, we can help flush out the kidneys and help them function better. You can use celery seed and add juniper berry. You could have fennel. There's different ones out there that you can combine with your celery seed depending on you. Now, I said earlier that peppermint's really good for that. So we're going to talk about that here in a minute, a little bit more in depth of peppermint. But doTERRA has something even more special that you can use when it comes to peppermint, because peppermint's very good for digestive also. It's been out there for a long, long, long time, forever, I think. So you can also combine celery seed with cinnamon. Still, same thing, equal amounts, and you can put this in a capsule, okay? Equal amounts of celery seed essential oil and cinnamon bark that doTERRA has, and put those together in a capsule. This will help support your urinary tract. So when would you want to use this for your urinary tract, or these protocols for your urinary tract? Well, women tend to get UTIs. Men can do that too. And so this is something you can take internally to help with that particular issue so that you can get through it a lot faster. And a lot of times, like a medication will create a UTI. And so this is going to be an alternative for you. Now let's think about the intestines, because it's a whole part of it, right? All the way down. Now we're at the large and small intestines. So the large intestines are for elimination, right? But your small intestines are for absorption. How can you, or how do you support those two? Because it's really hard, and it has been hard to adequately get essential oils all the way down to the colon, through the intestines and to the colon. So it's been very difficult for those health challenges that we have in the intestines and the colon. So how do you get there? How do you make sure that you get an adequate amount of essential oils to help support all those particular areas? Well, doTERRA came out with a peppermint soft gel, and it's really cool because it has a enteric coated soft gel is what it is. So it's kind of it's a soft gel, but it's not as soft. So it takes longer because it's a special coating. It takes longer for it to dissolve so that it can pass through the stomach, pass into the intestines where you want it to be. It's kind of like a probiotic. You don't want a probiotic to just sit in your stomach. You want it to be in the intestines. That's important to know, because if you're not having a probiotic, because probiotics are huge when it comes to digestive support. So if you don't have a probiotic that can get all the way down through and get to the intestines to colonize, it's worthless, pretty much. Well, I shouldn't say it's completely worthless. It gives you a little bit, but you want to colonize your intestines, not your stomach. So it's really cool that it's carrageenan free, and it's really easy on your digestive system. And so it totally gets to the colon. Now, here is something that I will say, that when you use these particular products, especially in this case, the peppermint soft gel, it gets to the colon, but what have you been experiencing prior to using these products? So our systems are supposed to get rid of, or we have cells that die every day. How do you get rid of them? Well, our digestive system. Okay. So when you use a peppermint soft gel, it is very possible for you to not be on the, not to have to run to the toilet and be on the toilet all the time. But there is that possibility, because you've got to eliminate all the toxicity that's been going on. And that's, how long has your issue been going on? As far as, has it been a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, all your life? Kind of. It has to flush things out. It's kind of like flushing out your water system. If you've got to eliminate the iron, or you've got to clean the tank because it built up, dirt built up, or stuff is there, you got to clean it out. You've got to do the same thing with your system, your digestive system. So don't be surprised if it happens. It will go away, but keep thinking about it. So it usually only takes a couple capsules or soft gels, and leave it at that. If you use too much, back off and do one, but don't stop, or maybe do every other day. Don't be thinking that, well, I got to continue. If you're really bad, do it every other day. Don't do it every day. Let your kind of gently introduce it to your body, instead of, here you are, cold turkey. No, we don't want to do that either. So, and always work with the person that will help you. If you're not sure, then call the person, your support person. You can text me, you can email me, and there's plenty of others out there to talk to. Another thing you can do is you can do a bath. So draw your bath water, put some Epsom salt in there, and put 2 or 3, 4 drops of celery seed oil in there, and help with your body will absorb that, and it'll do the same thing. It's diffusing in the air, and then you're also getting your minerals, but you're getting help support that digestive system as well. And it's really helpful for a positive mood. So if you've been in a bad mood, go to the bathroom, light the candles if you need to, put your Epsom, and usually it's best, put your Epsom salt in your hand, put your drops of oil in the Epsom salt first, then put it in the bath water. Okay, it mixes better with water, because water and oils don't mix, right? So we don't want it just floating on the surface of the water. But go relax. If you had a bad day, go relax. Even if that means put it in the backside of the shower, go take a shower and relax. Okay. So I've given you a protocol for detoxing, helping detox your urinary support or urinary tract. If you want it for congestion, you can do 2 to 4 drops right over your lungs. You can also add rosemary or cardamom over the chest with celery seed oil. You can also use celery seed oil for varicose veins. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? So you just massage it wherever the need is, 1 drop. Use a carrier oil if you have sensitive skin. Okay, typically you can use celery seed oil neat, but if you need to, please use a carrier oil like fractionated coconut oil, which is what we like the best, because it soaks into your skin very quickly and has no smell to it, no odor. You can also add with varicose veins just 1 drop of your celery seed oil and 1 drop of cypress. So that's varicose veins. So cooking, remember 1 drop of, or I should say 1 teaspoon of dry herbs is equal to about 1 drop of an essential oil. So those are the things you have to really think of and consider when you're cooking as to how much you're using. And please never get it in your eyes. And if you do get in your eyes, don't use water. Water's a driver. I promise your eyes might tear up and stuff, but eventually 10-15 minutes, you'll be fine. If you have fractionated coconut oil, you can just put some all around your eyes. Don't put it in your eye, just on the eyelids, and keep your eyes closed so that it'll dissipate, right? I promise you won't go blind. Or any fats, we don't have fractionated coconut oil, any oil that will help, or milk or something with fats, okay? That'll help you. All right. I also have a blend that you can do for menstrual relief. So if you're having those, for us women, we get those, every month if you're still in that stage of the game. So here is a menstrual relief blend. It's 3 drops of celery seed, 2 drops of Roman chamomile, and then 2.5 milliliters of fractionated coconut oil. So here's the thing. If you use 2.5 milliliters, I'm not quite sure how much that is, but if what I do, and I make it for others, is like a 1/4 cup and put the oils into that. And there you go. That's what you can have. So about a 1/4 cup. Yeah. So everything is all about helping us and helping support everything that we have. And this is helping support the digestive system. So I love celery seed in that way that it helps that. It can also help with depression. It can also help with high blood pressure. And you can, put some right behind your ears. Now, if you're taking medication, please continue taking the medication. Never stop taking medication. This is only to help when you're in that need. And talk to your doctor. Always talk to your doctor. It's also good as an insect repellent. Celery seed is good for that. I have not tried it as an insect repellent, but this summer I'm going to have to try it. So I'll let you know. So stay tuned for that. So thank you. I hope that you received some information that you didn't know about today. And I'm going to be here again, the 1st and 3rd Tuesday of every month, 7 o'clock Pacific time. It's the same Zoom meeting every single time. I'd love to have you with me live and interact with me, because that's a lot of fun. If you need help or support, please visit my website, which is naturals4animals.com or naturals4animals.com, or you can reach out to me at heavenscentoil@gmail.com. That's heaven sent, SENT, oil @gmail.com. So heavenscentoils@gmail.com. That's with an S. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you the next time. And I believe the next time we are going to talk about cilantro. Ooh, I'll have to show you my guacamole. We'll see you next time. Bye.